Kalayam Pravishta Bhagavan iti. Synonyms: Manasha, with the mind; Etani, to these; Bhutani, living entities; Praname, offers respect; Bahumanyam, showing regards; Ishara, the controller; Jiva, of the living entities; Kalaya, by his expansion as the super soul; Pravishta, has entered; Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead; iti, thus. Translation and purported written by Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: such a perfect devotee offers respects to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of God has entered the body of every living entity as the super soul or controller. Purport: a perfect devotee, as described above, doesn't make the mistake of thinking that because the Supreme Personality of God as Paramatma has entered into the body of every living entity. Every living entity has become the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is foolishness. Suppose a person enters into a room, that doesn't mean that the room has become that person. Similarly, that the Supreme Lord has entered into each of the 84 lakhs particular types of material bodies doesn't mean that each of these bodies has become the Supreme Lord, because the Supreme Lord is present. However, a pure devotee accepts each body as the temple of the Lord. And since the devotee offers respect to such temples in full knowledge, he gives respect to every living entity to in relationship with the Lord. Mayavadi philosophers wrongly think that because the Supreme Person has entered the body of a poor man, the Supreme Lord has become Daridra Narayan or Poor Narayan. These are all blasphemous statements of atheist and non-devotee. Om Ajnanantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Shayangarupa Kadamayam Dadati Shapadantikam Bonde Hong Shri Guru Shri Juta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupang Shagra Jatam Shahagana Raghunatanitam Tang Shajivam Shadvaitam Shavadutang Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padane Shahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanita Mishcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hari Prem Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhabhaya Evacha पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मनसायतानि भूतानि प्रणमेत बहुमानयन् ईश्वर जीवकलया प्रविष्ट भगवान् इति. Such a perfect devotee offers respect to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as the super soul or controller. here the Kopil Dev actually gave advice to his mother Devahuti. In previous text, he explained how to become a pure devotee, means Shuddha Bhakta, perfect devotee. So here in this text, he was telling that the characteristics of a perfect devotee, Shuddha Bhakta's character, what they can see. That is explaining in this text, actually. So, such the a Shuddha Bhakta offers respect to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as the super soul or controller. In Bhagavad Gita, it was mentioned that Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Govi Hostini Shuni Choiva Shapake Cha Pandita Shamadarshina. That is Shuddha Bhakta. That means he is a Pandit. He knows, he has a lot of knowledge, full of knowledge. He is full of knowledge. He already achieved
Better than science.
Hare Krishna. So he has the full of knowledge. So he is um, the Pandit. That means Pandita Shamadarshina. He can see everybody's heart. That is, he cannot see the body actually. In the body, inside the body, he saw the Paramatma. That means in the body there is a Paramatma. He can see the Paramatma because all of his anarthas, that is mind, intelligence, falsehood, everything is go away. Now he is the full of Shat Ananda. So he can see others' body, the Paramatma. Who is a Paramatma? He is also Shat Ananda. He can see that Shat Ananda. Um, so in Gita also, it was mentioned that Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Shachati Nakankati Shama Sharvaishu Bhuteshu Matava Bhakta Lavate Param. So that means Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma No Shachati Nakankati. So he was Krishna Shakti Bina, Krishna Bhakti Bina Nahi Tar Pravatta. That means without any bhakti, without any achievement of Lord, then it is not possible to see everybody's heart, the Paramatma. So that is the one characteristic of the Shuddha Bhakta. So all the living personnel are not the Shuddha Bhakta, though they have Paramatma. So that is here Srila Prabhupada giving one example very nicely that this suppose a person enters into a room, that doesn't mean that the room has become that person. So very nice example and practical examples. So all the uh, living entity cannot see everybody's heart that Paramatma. Suppose us, we cannot see. That is because our soul is surrounded by surrounded by the anattas. So when these anattas, with the perseverance, with the sadhana, a strong sadhana, then this um, cloud, this cloud, when that cloud will go away, then we can see the Paramatma. So for that reason, we are doing the sadhana. That is Srila Prabhupada given us that to do the practice for that sadhana. And Srila Prabhupada also mentioned in here that similarly that Supreme Lord has entered into each of 84 lakhs particular types of material bodies doesn't mean that each of these bodies has become the Supreme Lord. So that is everybody has the though 84 lakhs that is, the Paramatma entered into 84 lakhs of the living entities, but it doesn't mean that uh, it doesn't mean that each of these bodies has become the Supreme Lord. That means that everybody can see the Lord. Everybody cannot see that because the Supreme Lord is present. A pure devotee accept each body as a temple of the Lord. So our body, it is actually designated as a temple. Why it is temple? What in the temple there is a Radha Shyam Sundarji, Jagannath Baladev Subhadrama, and taken Gaur Nitai is there. So for in that building, in that room, that is all the deities is there. That is for that reason it is an temple. Means that there is a Paramatma is there. So everybody's body has contains the Paramatma, Satchit Ananda, in the bigger size of the Satchit Ananda. It is in there for that reason. Everybody's, each and everybody's body, so body is a temple. So for that reason, Shuddha Bhakta, when he saw everybody, then he bowed down to he can see the and he offers the respect to everybody. So and so there are three things actually must be present for their to be service. That means the how to become a Shuddha Bhakta. It was discussed before, actually, in this chapter. That in the beginning of this chapter, 9, 10 text, it was because how to become a pure devotee. Kapil Dev told to Davahuti. So there are three things again actually that again when that uh, the master, the servant, and the service. There are three things is there. That means Shebbo, Shabako, and Sheba. So here it is clearly stated that he, now who has dedicated his life, all his activities, his mind, and his soul, everything for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord is considered to be the greatest person, Shuddha Bhakta. So that means his mind, his body, his soul, everything he was surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the he is the Shuddha Bhakta. Bhakti Vinod Thakur mentioned that Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukul. That whenever we can see that Shuddha Bhakta, we must have to bow down on his lotus feet as well as to serve him and to get the mercy. Shuddha Bhakta, he is the pure soul, Shat Chitananda. So whenever he will give the mercy, then that mercy will work. Then from our surrounds our soul on the anarthas will go away also. So for that reason, Bhakti Vinod Thakur was mentioned, Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukul. So a devotee has no such desire. Uh, he acts because the personality of Godhead wants him to act in a particular way. He has no personal motive. That means a devotee, pure devotee, he always think that how to serve the other devotee, how to help the other devotees. In so that is the Shuddha Bhakta's quality. So uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached Krishna consciousness. Uh, it was not with the purpose that people would call him Krishna. He was Sanna Avatar. He doesn't expose that he is a Krishna. He did not show that. But he showed as Krishna in 3-4 person. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Ramananda Rai. He showed his Sharup. So, but not everybody. So, Supreme Person, Lord Chaitanya, it was not with the purpose that people would call him as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rather, he preached that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and it should be worshipped as such. A devotee who is a most confidential servant of the Lord never does anything for his personal account, but does everything for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, just to satisfy the Supreme Lord. So one day, this is before um, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu take the initiation. Um, at that, he used to teach grammar, that Sanskrit grammar in his stall. Stall means in his, uh, um, um, uh, we used to call the primary school in his school. So he doesn't, he used to teach that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra as well as grammar. The student who has the problem, then he used to teach them every day. So then he used to go to each and everybody's house and requested them that to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But the people just hear and they do not do the chanting. So one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to uh, Srivas Pandit that Srivas, I will do boat festival in the bank of Ganga. So can you arrange that? Then Srivas Pandit, he rent a big boat, very, very big boat. And so then at that time in Bengal, they announce with the mic in the village that there will be a boat festival, so everybody can come and in the boat. So lot of people came and mentioned that there will be no money will be required. So then most of the people, maximum people came. So Nityananda Prabhu also is there. Then all the people are right on the boat. Then the boat is about to sink. Then Nityananda Prabhu became angry. Okay, he was telling Mahaprabhu, what are you doing? This boat is going to sink. What are you doing? At that time, there is a Kalboshaki was happened. Kalboshaki means that a storm, very heavy storm, and thunder storm, that it was going on. Then Nityananda Prabhu telling that what are you doing? You should not do. All the people will die. They will sink in the Ganga. Then At that time, people was telling, starting on the chanting in the boat, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Mahaprabhu is riding the boat. Then, then Mahaprabhu told to Nityananda Prabhu, I went to everybody's house to and requested them to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but they did not do that. Now when the danger comes, now everybody are started the chanting. That is the Mahaprabhu's lila in the bank of Ganga. So that is the so therefore. It is clearly stated in that moi shunyasta karmanam. The devotee works, but he works for the supreme. That means that all the karma we have to practice very seriously. That whatever we are doing, that is not for us, not for our sense gratification. That is everything we are doing for Lord Krishna. So that kind of mentality we must have to develop. Then Krishna will respond. That means that then we can attach with the Lord Krishna. Sambandha Gyan, then it will be developed. When Sambandha Gyan will develop, then the next step, then go back to Godhead. So he gives his mind unto me that these are the qualifications of a devotee who, according to this verse, is accepted as the highest of all human beings. That what does it mean? It means all the desires, if we surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord, or whatever I am eating, it is not I am eating, it is He is doing for He is Lord giving me this prasadam, I am taking this prasadam, that is only for Him. So, like that, each and every work for Him. Then we must have to be, otherwise, it is the self satisfaction. Yeah. So highest from here, highest perfection in Brahmana. That means that we know that a Brahman in Varnashram Dharma, Brahmana is the highest personalities, but Vaishnava much more greater than the Brahmana. That is in Chaitanya Charitamrita is also Mahaprabhu mentioned that Bhakta Bhakta Pada Dhuli Yarako Bhakta Pada Raja Bhakta Bhakta Eitin Mahajan. So that means Bhakta is a much more higher stage of the than the Brahmana. So Brahmana, that is we know that the a stage of the Bhakta, that is Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. These are the three categories of the Bhaktas. So Kanishtadhikari, that is a Vaishnava who knows the science of the absolute truth, but is not able to preach. Such knowledge to others is described as being in the lower stage. So that means Kanishtadhikari is the lower stage. He knows the um, uh, science, science of Krishna consciousness. He knows that, but he is not applying. He is for that reason he is in a lower stage. And Madhyamadhikari, who who not only understand the principles of science of God, but can also preach, is in the second stage. So he knows the Madhyamadikari, he knows the science of Krishna consciousness, and he preach, that is the Madhyamadikari. And Uttamadikari, one who not only can preach, but who also sees everything in the absolute truth, and the absolute truth in everything is in the highest class of Vaishnava. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh, Amar Aggai Guru Hoya Taro Yedesh. Mahaprabhu also mentioned that. So, Uttamadikari, he knows the Krishna consciousness very well, and he prays, and he went to house to house, house to house, house to house for preaching the Krishna consciousness. So it is mentioned here that Vaishnava is already more than a Brahmana. In the highest stage of Brahmanic perfection is reached when one becomes a Vaishnava. So Vaishnava is very, very higher position. So, and Shuddha Bhakta is better than the Brahmana who execute devotional service without expectation of reward. Shuddha Bhakta, that doesn't want anything. They are just like serving, 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 like that. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is supporting that Sthavara Jangama deke na deke tar murti sarvatra hoy nija ishta devasputti. Sthavara Jangama deke na deke tar murti. So that pure devotee sarvatra hoy nish ishta devasputti. Then that is Sharup. They can see the Sharup of themselves. In Gita also, it was mentioned that Mangcha Joha Avicharena Bhakti Yogena Shevate Na Gunana Samatitayatana Brahma Bhugaya Kalpate. So Brahma Bhuta Avastha. That means that when the devotee, pure devotee, serving, 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 then he is he can see it is a Brahmabhuta stage means he can see the Sharup. Then Shudumatra Bhakti Mulak Shavar, only the through the devotion and service, with the devotion, with the bhakti, only one can understand Lord Krishna. Kechit Kavalaya Bhakta Vasudeva Parayana Aganga Dunantiga Kasnenaka Niharame Eva Bhaskara. So Kavalaya, he is the Kaval. So Shuddha Bhakta is a Kaval. Kavala Bhakti. Only Shuddha, he knows one thing, only the serving how to satisfy Lord. So in Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter also it was mentioned, Bhakta mam abhijanante javan chachashmi tattata tato manga tattato gyata vishate tadantaram. So Bhakta can only knows me. Krishna mentioned that the only Bhakta can knows me, nobody else. So Bhakta mam abhijanante javan chachashmi tattata. See, my tattva, everything, he can only Bhakta can know. So I am concluding in here. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Dr.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
I'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. I would like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Nrsingo, Jai Nrsingo, Jai Jai Nrsingo, Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringam, Ugravidam Mahavishnu Sarvadokam, Nrsingam Vishnam Padma
Bhadram,
Samyam. नरसिंह भगवान की जय,
जय
की जय।
जय।
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas,
वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धु भवेत् पतितानां
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमो
नमो
नमः।
नमः।
वैष्णववृंद की जय।
की जय
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय।
की
श्रील
जय
प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरि 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 हरि। Thank you everybody. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.